Yeah, this has been a whirlwind. I was coaching high school football state championship last Thursday, and now I'm on the road recruiting in Mobile, Alabama. So it's been crazy.
Life is amazing. So why take this opportunity, Trent? What do you got for me?
Well, without giving you that long-winded Dilfer answer, I was with my wife about 9 weeks ago, and I had all these ADs and presidents reach out to me, and they had the last couple years, and I looked at her and I said, you know what, I'm at peace. We have our grandson, just had a grandson. He's 5 months old. They live in Nashville. I love the boys, what we've built. We built one of the top 10 football programs in the country at Lipscomb Academy, coming out of the dust when they were the 3,000th ranked team, I think, when I took it over. And I was just like, let's do this. Let's do this for 10 more years, and then we'll be grandparents and live at the lake. And she goes, you know what? Sounds really nice, except you were made for more than this. And it kind of shocked me. And she's like, you know what? I'm ready. We're empty nesters. We'll make this work. What you do is different. You raise young men. You make them better people. You have a great staff. You love your coaches. And, these kids are going to play great football because what you pour into their lives, just go do it at another level. And it kind of got me thinking. And right about that time, UAB really started pursuing me hard. Mark Ingram is an awesome AD. President Watts cares about excellence. Those were two things that I really was looking for if I ever made the move. And a donor base that approved their worth. This is a place that didn't have football. And Bill Clark and the donor base brought it back out of the dust and built a really nice program, and the donor base was part of that. So it just kind of started going down that road. Tried to keep it from my team and my community because I didn't want any distractions. It got leaked. Our kids handled it amazing. Most dominant state championship performance in the history of Tennessee, Middle Tennessee football. And now we're just rolling. Now I'm doing what college football is about. Recruiting is everything. It is everything with capital D. And I got the juice for it, and I'm hitting schools and meeting coaches and establishing relationships. And, we're going to build a roster at UAB that has a bunch of NFL dudes on it.
Well, in terms of that, too, you kind of mentioned the UAB history here where they, came up with a report on how to save money, and they followed the report saying cancel football. And for 2 years, there was no football, and football's back, and you referred to that. And the other aspect of it, is not to tell any tales out of school, is, University of Alabama-Birmingham. There's a University of Alabama-Tuscaloosa. A lot of people think the powers that be in that state tip the scales in that direction. Obviously, Nick has his own way to tip his own scales. But how do you deal with that when you're in? How do you tell people, let's come here, don't go to Tuscaloosa? How do you do that?
So one, I've had no experience with that, and I mean that. And that was definitely something that I had mentors tell me to ask about.
Right.
The Board of Trustees has been nothing but incredible to the University of Alabama-Birmingham. The Nick Saban piece is really interesting, too. I've known Nick a long time. I have a great relationship with Nick. Nick entrusted me with Tua during his training for the draft, and coming off the injury, I was in constant contact with him. Nick was one of the first people that called me when I got this job. Nick Saban, people can think whatever they want about him, but that guy has nothing but class and is a kingmaker. He doesn't just hide assets and try to do it for himself. He wants other people to be successful. So Nick's been great to me. Listen, we know who the Grand Poobah is in the state of Alabama, right? But there are a lot of great football players in the state of Alabama, and there are a lot of great high school football coaches. And we plan on going and meeting them all and finding the ones that are going to make UAB a power. The college football playoff expands. We plan on being there, and I will yell that from the rooftops, that we have two objectives right now in terms of the football build-out. Now, human development is the number one thing, but from the football development, it is get to the college football playoff in 2 years and have a bunch of scouts at our practices saying, you got 10, you got 12, you got 14, you got 16 NFL prospects. We're going to build this on players that have NFL traits, NFL intangibles, and can play the game at the highest level.
Brother, I mean, football journeys are amazing. Yours is in particular as well. If I had told you that time where you showed up, you're still playing, you're trying to figure out you want a job in television or not or whatever. If I told you, not only would you have a successful career in television, but you'd get into coaching and you'd be a college football coach as well as a championship high school football coach, you'd have said what to me on that night?
You're crazy.
Right.
Like, I ran from coaching. I got offered management jobs out of the league. I got offered NFL position jobs. I've been offered coordinator jobs, offered head coaching. Like, I grew up the son of a coach. I saw what this profession can do to families, especially families with daughters. What really got me thinking, having the 3 girls, was 2 things. Clyde Christensen. So Clyde Christensen is my football hero. Like, of all my 42-year football life, my number 1 football hero is Clyde Christensen. Coached, obviously, me in Tampa. We coached Peyton in Indianapolis. Peyton raves about him. He's coaching Tom right now. Clyde Christensen is one of the few that did it right. He is an incredible husband, an incredible father to daughters. He has helped shape the lives of so many men that were playing professional football, but they'll all say, yeah, he made me a better player, but he made me a better man. He's turned down multiple coordinator and head jobs so he can invest in relationships with his quarterbacks in the quarterback room. He just did it right. So I thought about him. And then my daughters, I was an empty nester. And that's something my wife said. She was like, we don't have them anymore. It's just me and you and the dogs. Like, let's go. And, her Jews were 50 years old. Now she looks like she's 32, but I look like I'm 60. But we're 50 years old, and we got juice. I mean, I'm sitting here. I'm fired up. I'm getting ready to walk into a field house here when I hang up with you. I'm going to go in there tingly. I'm a fire breather. Like, let's go. I want to meet you, Coach. I want to establish a relationship with you. I want to talk to your players. I want to find the best ones. I'm making good men. I'm making them a great, not a good, a great football player. I mean, I'm getting fired up just talking to you.
I love
this kind of juice since I was doing Dilfer's Dimes on Monday night when I jump out of my seat and I had fire coming out of my mouth. And that's how I feel. And that's what this program's going to be built on, is this type of juice and energy.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.